Genesis chapter 3 from the Message translation. The serpent was clever, more clever than any wild animal God had made. He spoke to the woman. Do I understand that God told you not to eat from any tree in the garden? The woman said to the serpent, Not at all. We can eat from the trees in the garden. It's only about the tree in the middle of the garden that God said, Don't eat from it. Don't even touch it, or you will die. The serpent told the woman, God knows that the moment you eat from that tree, you will see what's really going on. You will be just like God, knowing everything, ranging all the way from good to evil. When the woman saw that the tree looked like good eating and realized what she would get out of it, she'd know everything. She took and ate the fruit and then gave some to her husband, and he ate. Immediately, the two of them did see what's really going on, saw themselves naked. They sewed fig leaves together as makeshift clothes for themselves. When they heard the sound of God strolling in the garden in the evening breeze, the woman and his wife hid in the trees of the garden, hid from God. God called to the woman. God called to the man, Where are you? He said, I heard you in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked and I hid. God said, Who told you you were naked? Did you eat from the tree I told you not to eat from? The man said, The woman you gave me as a companion, she gave me fruit from the tree, and yes, I ate it. God said to the woman, What is this that you have done? The serpent seduced me, she said, and I ate. God told the serpent, Because you have done this, you are cursed. Cursed beyond all cattle and wild animals. Cursed to slink on your belly and eat dirt all your life. I'm declaring war between you and the woman, between your offspring and hers. He will wound your head, you will wound his heel. He told the woman, I'll multiply your pains in childbirth. You will give birth to your babies in pain. You will want to please your husband, and he will lord it over you. He told the man, Because you listened to your wife and ate from the tree that I commanded you not to eat from, don't eat from this tree. The very ground is cursed because of you. Getting food from the ground will be as painful as having babies is for your wife. You'll be walking in pain all your life long. The ground will sprout thorns and weeds. You'll get your food the hard way, planting and tilling and harvesting, sweating in the fields from dawn to dusk until you return to the ground, yourself dead and buried. You started out as dirt, you will end up death. The man known as Adam named his wife Eve because she was the mother of all the living. God made leather clothing for Adam and his wife and dressed them. God said, the man has become like one of us, capable of knowing everything, ranging from good to evil. What if he now should reach out and take fruit from the tree of life and eat and live forever? Never. This cannot happen. So God expelled them from the Garden of Eden and sent them to work the ground, the same dirt out of which they had been made. He threw them out of the garden and stationed angel cherubim and a revolving sword of fire east of it, guarding the path to the tree of life. Now, chapter 4. Adam slept with Eve, his wife. She conceived and had Cain. She said, I've gotten a man with God's help. Then she had another baby, Abel. Abel was a herdsman and Cain a farmer. Time passed. Cain brought an offering to God from the produce of his farm. Abel also brought an offering, but from the firstborn animals of his herd, choice cuts of meat. God liked Abel and his offering, but Cain his approval. Cain lost his temper and went into a sulk. God spoke to Cain, why this tantrum? Why the sulking? If you do well, won't you be accepted? And if you don't do well, sin is lying in wait for you, ready to pounce. It's out to get you. You've got to master it. Cain had words with his brother. They were out in the field. Cain came at Abel, his brother, and killed him. God said to Cain, where is Abel, your brother? He said, how should I know? Am I his babysitter? God said, what have you done? The voice of your brother's blood is calling to me from the ground. From now on, you get nothing but curses from this ground. You'll be driven from this ground that has opened its arms to receive the blood of your murdered brother. You will farm this ground, but it will no longer give you its best. You will be a homeless wanderer on earth. Cain said to God, my punishment is too much. I can't take it. You've thrown me off the land, and I can never again face you. I'm a homeless wanderer on earth, and whoever finds me will kill me. God told him, no, anyone who kills Cain will pay for it 7 times over. God put a mark on Cain to protect him, so that no one who met him would kill him. Cain left the presence of God and lived in no man's land east of Eden. Cain slept with his wife. She conceived and had Enoch. He then built a city and named it after his son, Enoch. Enoch had Arad. Arad had Mehujael. Mehujael had Methuselah. Methuselah had Lamech. Lamech married 2 wives, Ada and Zillah. Ada gave birth to Jabal, the ancestor of all who lived in tents and herd cattle. His brother's name was Jubal, the ancestor of all who played the lyre and flute. Zillah gave birth to Tubal-Cain, who worked at the forge, making bronze and iron tools. Tubal-Cain's sister was Naamah. Lamech said to his wives, Ada and Zillah, listen to me, you wives of Lamech, hear me out. I killed a man for wounding me, a young man who attacked me. If Cain is avenged 7 times, for Lamech is 77. Adam slept with his wife again. She had a son whom she named Seth. She said, God has given me another child in place of Abel, whom Cain killed. And then Seth had a son, whom he named Enosh. That's when men and women began praying and worshiping in the name of God. So I start from verse 24 again. If Cain is avenged 7 times, for Lamech is 77. Adam slept with his wife again. She had a son which she named Seth. She said, God has given me another child in place of Abel, whom Cain killed. So now, chapter 5. This is a family tree of the human race, whom God created, the human race. He made it godlike, with a nature akin to God. He created both male and female and blessed them, the whole human race. When Adam was 130 years old, he had a son who was just like him, his very spirit and image, and named him Seth. After the birth of Seth, Adam lived another 800 years, having more sons and daughters. Adam lived a total of 930 years, and he died. When Seth was 105 years old, he had Enosh. After Seth had Enosh, he lived another 807 years, and having more sons and daughters. Seth lived a total of 912 years, and he died. When Enosh was 90 years old, he had Canaan. Chapter 6 says, when the human race began to increase, with more and more daughters being born, the sons of God noticed that the daughters of men were beautiful. They looked them over and picked out wives for themselves. Then God said, I'm not going to breathe life into men and women endlessly. Eventually, they are going to die. From now on, they can expect a lifespan of 120 years. This was back in the days and also later when there were giants in the land. The giants came from the union of the sons of God and the daughters of men. These were the mighty men of ancient law, the famous ones. God saw that human evil was out of control. People thought evil, imagined evil. Wow, what's this app doing? Okay, so that's the end of chapter 6. Next, God said to Noah, now board the ship, you and all your family, out of everyone in this generation. You are the righteous one. Take on board with you 7 pairs of every clean animal, female, 1 pair of every unclean animal, a male and a female, and 7 pairs of every kind of bird, a male and a female, to ensure their survival on earth. In just 7 days, I will dump rain on earth for 40 days and 40 nights. I'll make a clean sweep of everything that I have made. Noah did everything God commanded him. Noah was 600 years old when the floodwaters covered the earth. He was 600 years when the floodwaters covered the earth. Okay. Noah and his wife and sons and their wives boarded the ship to escape the flood. Clean and unclean animals, birds, and all crawling creatures came in pairs to Noah and to the ship, male and female, just as God had commanded Noah. In 7 days, the flood water came. It was 600th year of Noah's life in the 2nd month, on the 17th day of the month, and it happened. All the underground springs erupted, and all the windows of heaven were thrown open. Rain poured for 40 days and 40 nights. That's the day Noah and his sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, accompanied by his wife and his son's wife, boarded the ship, and with them every kind of wild and domestic animal, right down to all kinds of creatures that crawl, and all kinds of birds and anything that flies. They came to Noah and to the ship in pairs, everything and anything that had breath of life in it. Male and female of every creature came just as God had commanded Noah. Then God shut the door behind them. And it happened. Yes. Where did it start from? Okay. And it happened, all the underground springs erupted, and all the windows of heavens were thrown open. Rain poured for 40 days and 40 nights. That's the day Noah and his sons Shem, Ham, and Japheth, accompanied by his wife and his son's wife, boarded the ship. And with every kind of wild domestic animals, right down to the kinds of creatures that crawl and all kinds of birds and anything that flies, they came to Noah and to the ship in pairs, everything and anything that had breath of life in it, male and female of every creature, came just as God had commanded Noah. Then God shut the door behind them. All right. So chapter 8 says, what's this now? All right. Yes. Chapter 8 says, then God turned his attention to Noah and all the wild animals and farm animals with him on the ship. God caused the wind to blow and the floodwaters began to go down. The underground springs were shut off, the windows of heaven closed, and the rain quit. Inch by inch, the water lowered. After 150 days, the worst was over. On the 17th day of the 7th month, the ship landed on the Ararat mountain range. The water kept going down until the 10th month. On the first day of the 10th month, the tops of the mountains came into view. After 40 days, Noah opened the window that he had built into the ship. Okay. He sent a raven. He sent out a raven. It flew back and forth, waiting for the flood waters to dry up. Then he sent a dove to check on the flood conditions, but he couldn't even find a place to perch. Water still covered the earth. Noah reached out and caught it, brought it back into the ship. He waited 7 more days and sent out the dove again. He came back in the evening with a freshly picked olive leaf in its beak. Wow. So nice. So God blessed Noah and his sons. He said, prosper, reproduce, fill the earth. Every living creature, birds, animals, fish, will fall under your spell and be afraid of you. You are responsible for them. All living creatures are yours for food, just as I gave you the plants. Now I give you everything else, except for meat with its lifeblood still in it. Don't eat that. But your own lifeblood, I will avenge. I will avenge it against both animals and other humans. Whoever sheds human blood by humans, let his blood be shed, because God made humans in his image, reflecting God's very nature. Yes. So you are here to bear fruit, reproduce, lavish life on the earth, live bountifully. Then God spoke to Noah and his sons. I'm setting up my covenant with you, including your children who will come after you, along with everything alive around you, birds, farm animals, wild animals that came out of the ship with you. I'm setting up my covenant with you that never again will everything living be destroyed by flood waters. No, never again will a flood destroy the earth. Wow, that's a wonderful promise. So let's move on. Okay, so this is the family tree of the sons of Noah, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. After the flood, they themselves had sons. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, Magog, Madai, Javan, Tubal, Meshech, Tiras. The sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, Riphat, Togarmah. The sons of Javan, Elisha, Tarshish, Kittim, Rodanim. The seafaring peoples developed from this, each in its own place, by family, each with its own language. The sons of Ham, Cush, Egypt, Put, Canaan. The sons of Cush, Seba, Havilah, Sabta, Rama, Sabteka. The sons of Rama, Sheba. Cush also had Nimrod was a hunter. At one time, the whole earth spoke the same language. It also happened that as they moved out of the east, they came upon a plain in the land of Shinar and settled down. They said to one another, come, let's make bricks and fire them well. They used brick for stone and mortar. Then they said, come, let's build ourselves a city and a tower that reaches heaven. Let's make ourselves famous so we won't be scattered here and there across the earth. God came down to look over the city and the tower those people had built. God took one look and said, one people, one language. Why? This is only this is only a first step. No telling what they will come up with next. They will stop at nothing. Come, we'll go down and gabble their speech so they won't understand each other. Then God scattered them from there all over the world, and they had to quit building the city. That's how it came to be called Babel, because there God turned their language into Babel. From there, God scattered them all over there. That's how it happened. So God told Abraham, leave your country, your family, and your father's home for a land that I will show you. I'll make you a great nation and bless you. I'll make you famous. You will be a blessing. I'll bless those who bless you. Those who curse you, I will curse. All the families of the earth will be blessed through you. So Abraham left just as God said, and Lot left with him. Abraham was 75 years old when he left Haran. Abraham took his wife Sarai and his nephew Lot with him, along with all the possessions and people they had gotten in Haran, and set out for the land of Canaan, and arrived safe and sound. Abraham passed through this country as far as Shechem and the oak of Moreh. At that time, the Canaanites occupied the land. God appeared to Abraham and said, I will give this land to your children. Abraham built an altar at the place God had appeared to him. He moved from there to the hill country east of Bethel and pitched his tent between Bethel to the west and Ai to the east. He built an altar there and prayed to God. Abraham kept moving steadily, making his way south to the Negev. Then a famine came to the land. Abraham went down to Egypt to live. It was a hard famine. As he drew near to Egypt, he said to his wife Sarai, look, we both know that you are a beautiful woman. When the Egyptians see you, they're going to say, aha, that's his wife, and kill me, and they will let you live. Do me a favor. Tell them you are my sister. Because of you, they will welcome me and let me live. When Abraham arrived in Egypt, the Egyptians took one look and saw that his wife was stunningly beautiful. Pharaoh's princess raved over her to Pharaoh. She was taken to live with Pharaoh. Because of her, Abraham got along very well. He accumulated sheep and cattle, male and female donkeys, men and women, servants and camels. But God hit Pharaoh hard because of Abraham's wife Sarah. Everybody in the palace got seriously sick. Pharaoh called for Abraham. What's this that you've done to me? Why didn't you tell me that she's your wife? Why did you say she's my sister so that I take her as my wife? Here is your wife back. Take her and get out. Pharaoh ordered his men to get Abraham out of the country. They sent him and his wife and everything he owned on their way. Wow. Thank you for staying by. Thank you for reading the scriptures with me. God bless you. See you next time. Thanks a lot.